Hi, and welcome to the IPMI Moving Forward video series. My name is Matt Mandell, and I'm here from GAM Payments on how to lower your payment fees. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to look at is what is a payment system? Second is what is a typical transaction flow and how those payment systems interact. Then looking at the payment fees themselves for a typical transaction, then how to control the fees. And then of course, a thank you, because it's always good to say thank you. If you've got any questions or anything in detail, feel free to reach out to me directly because everyone has unique and different situations. So first, the payment system. Now, if we look, the card networks, which is Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, Interac in Canada, and then other networks around the world. We have is the card issuer. So that's the company and the bank that actually gives you the piece of plastic and the credit to be able to transact. So that could be your Bank of America Visa card, your Citibank MasterCard, your Capital One, a debit card or credit card, and that is the issuers. On the other side, you have the acquirers and processors. Those are the companies like your FIS, Vantiv, TSYS, Heartland, Citibank, Bank of America, Chase, that essentially allow you to go out there and write merchant accounts. Then essentially you have ISOs or independent sales organization or payment service providers like us at GAM. Then you have the gateways. So effectively a gateway is going to talk to a park system and then the acquirer and processor. So your message and your data goes from one to the other. The gateway is literally just the rails that connect the two. If we look at a transaction, when a customer makes a purchase, and again, I apologize for the speed, but realistically, this could take hours to cover, and we're moving through pretty quickly because I've got 3 to 5 minutes. So when we're looking at a transaction, a customer makes a purchase, goes through a gateway, and then it goes to the network acquirer and the issuing bank. The issuing bank is what says, yes, this is a good transaction, or no, this is not a good transaction, and declines it. At the end of the day, all of those individual transactions from the different card issuing banks, we've got 4 here, end up going together and being bundled into a batch. That batch is then settled or deposited into the merchant's account, which is your parking account at the end of the day, seeing the entire number of transactions. If we look at fees now, so I'm sure that a lot of you have seen a payment statement like this. This is usually 4 or 5 pages back, sometimes hundreds of pages back. And what we're seeing is a line like this. I just picked this line at random. So we have one transaction. Here's the total amount processed. It's a MasterCard high value merit 1 at 2.5% and 10 cents an item. But there's more. There's fees like this that show up below. So let's look at what they all add up to. If you look at a $100 transaction, I want to just pick a round number. So we have 260, which is our 2.5% and our 10 cents per transaction. Then we have the fees that go to the card brand network. And that's Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. That's essentially 12 cents. Then you have the fees to the gateway, which are somewhere between about 5 and 15 cents, depending on what it is. And the fees to the processor, which would be your TSYS, your TSYS, your Fiserv, things like that. So those fees in general are the 22 cents. And then the remaining 97 cents or $97.06 goes to the garage operator, and that's what's deposited as a batch into your account. If we look at fees and fee control, one of the biggest overlooked areas is internal labor. What we have seen consistently is that per 100 parking lots, there's 20 internal support hours for payment-related tasks. Now, many operators are holding that as an expense of the management company and of the parking head office. But those hours can be managed, and that support can be managed by payment processors, thereby saving a large number of dollars and a large amount of money per year. That can be managing missing batches, refunds, chargeback responses, customer service, broken equipment, things like that in general. One other area that we've seen is PCI fees. So in general, a middle-of-the-road fee for non-compliance and not filing paperwork is $29.95 per month. You take that times 12 months for a 195 lot location or operator, that's $70,000 that you can save annually just by having a provider who helps you manage your PCI compliance. Is that something that you're being helped with, or is that something you're being surprised with when you have to go and speak to asset owners on a regular basis? We also have additional ways to lower fees like simple charge, which is the ability to pass fees compliantly to the end customer, which is especially popular in 2020 in the time of COVID, especially as we're budgeting for next year. Second is Smart Route, which is the ability to route transactions in the most efficient way possible. This can make a huge savings, especially on monthly transactions and in metros where there's higher transient level pricing. Single token multi-location. We essentially can take a customer who shows up to one of your locations and know what that customer is doing across all of your lots. So if someone shows up, ends up opening up a chargeback, we can actually effectively decline all of their transactions at all other lots if we want to across your portfolio, thereby reducing the loss and future problems from that person who caused a problem for you in the past. Level 2 and level 3 data. We have a large amount of data that the part systems do not send through to us. We can send them through the processor to end up saving you significant interchange percentages. Batch monitoring. If you don't close out your batches within 24 to 48 hours, depending on the network, you have additional interchange costs, which can be anywhere from very small amount to significant amounts of money. We monitor every single one of our locations every day to make sure that money is being deposited into your account, both for operating, as well as to make sure that you're qualifying for the lowest prices and lowest interchange rates. Accepting other methods. There may be a huge opportunity in accepting ACH or other transaction methods that would save you significant amount of money and end up making your operation much more efficient. Now, you always need to have a follow-up or a next step. So what is one thing that we spoke about at least that we talked about that could save you and your operating company at least $10,000 a year if you implemented it? Now, granted, we went over a whole bunch of things, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to you. Again, my name is Matt Mandell from GAM Payments. Feel free to call me direct on my cell phone, which is 202-528-2000, or email me, matt@gampayments.com. Thanks for your time and look forward to seeing you at one of the shows soon.